Hello, everybody, and welcome to this morning's Dadurday chase race, bringing you live race coverage from Swift here on Recycling News. Today, we've got a 29-kilometre race, 4 laps of the Two Bridges Loop, 160 metres of climbing. So it's up the reverse KOM 4 times. And yeah, it's going to be a challenging one for the B, C's and D's. I think the A's probably should do quite well on this one. It's a bit of a shorter race. The time gap is back down to 2 minutes between the A's and the B's. But they still do have the 10 minutes to catch up on the D's who are out on the course. And the C's have a 5-minute head start on the A's. So they're out on course at the minute. Let's take a look. Here's the D's currently out and about on course. So we can see that they are out there at the minute. They've got a pretty good solid bunch together at the moment. So that's pretty good. They seem to be working pretty well together. And they're sort of holding their own just at the moment. So yeah, doing well. We will also keep checking in on them as the race unfolds. But if we swap back here, we've got the... Oh, seem to have lost my Swift window at the minute for my B race, which is not ideal. Let's see if I can get that back for you. Ah, there we go. Here's the B racers then. We're just a minute away, and they're going to be heading off very shortly then. And I am now just trying to sort out back to the D's. There we are then. So they seem to be doing quite well. They're currently 4k in, about halfway around the lap. Got a little gap together. We're 30 seconds out then on this B category. Not far off for these guys. So I will be riding in Cat B today. And we have 8 minutes to catch up on those D riders. 3 minutes to catch up on the C riders. And a 2-minute head start on the A's. Right, so 3 seconds out. Let's get going then. Looks like we've got a pretty sizable field today in the B's as always well attended. Good number of dirt riders as always. So according to the leaderboard there, 108 riders in this B cat. They get underway then. There's a short lead in, and then 4 laps. Already you can see in the mini map we've got a little bit of a split. In the B's, that's not ideal early on. So we've got about 4.5 kilometres to catch up on the D riders. So we're going to hit a left at the top of this little ramp through the rollers, across the sprint bridge, up the reverse KOM, and then back along the seafront. Need to be working together there as a group. Need to make the catch first, and then we can worry about who's going to take the win. So back to the leaders then. They're on the steepest part of the course. There's our Cat D, just bear with me whilst I do a little bit of rolling. Stream management. There we go. Actually, I think the route doesn't go all the way up the reverse KOM, but we take the shortcut just at the top of the steeper sections, pushing to get back in on the back of this group. Just lost a few places whilst I was messing around with my screen setup. There we go. Pushing nicely through. So apparently Charlie Eisendorf is in the B category today. There was a little bit of confusion. He did sign up in the C's, but I think he has now corrected himself. And the A's are also now out on course then. Everyone's racing. Using the live function on Swift Power just to see how the different groups are getting on. There's 2 opportunities for power-ups on this route. There's a Chris Renker there, just ahead of me. Go check out his blog, The Communique, on Facebook. Some really interesting articles. Obviously, I can't tell you what kit he is to look out for because we're all in the same kit here in the Bs. We've gone through the Italian village then. But the leaders back on the seafront. They've gone through the start finish line now, 1 lap down. And so far, it doesn't look like this B group is making much inroads into their lead. But it's that steep climb, that's where we're going to make good time gains on the B and Cs. Anytime it goes uphill, that's when it benefits the stronger riders. It looks like that D group really has whittled down in size then. Only about a dozen or so riders now already. So this is only lap 2 or 4 that they're on. They've still got a long way to go yet. 20 kilometres. That's not a good sign if that group is already imploding. Always need some numbers to help improve that draft effect, to pull you forward. You can see there, right hand side, we've got the good 70 riders or so in this B group. Oh. Getting pretty warm already. Pain is temporary, quitting is forever. And wise words there from Jason Bretts, our dirt riders. We're starting to catch a couple of C riders then. A couple of them in and out of this pack. There's a huge swathe of them just up ahead round this corner. Turbo up to speed. Make sure I'm towards the front of this group then. Oh. An opportunity to rest on this downhill. Let the pack regroup. As I said, we need numbers. Numbers help at the start. I think Jason's watching the live stream. Got any orders for the team? The team to split a bit on that climb. Still 3 more laps to go. Let's check in with Swift Power. Currently showing the Sea Riders in pole position. They're on for 46 minutes. VCAT currently on for 47 minutes 24. So there's a big group of bees a little behind this group. Be interesting to see if they can catch up and form a bigger blob again. Looks like they are coming across, closing that gap. You can see in the mini map in the top right hand corner. That'll be handy on the first part of this course. Although I get a route badge there. First time I've done the 2 bridges loop. Alright, 21k, 3 more laps. Oh, you see riders as well also joining on to this group. It looks like the bees are still nicely out in front then. Still with their dozen or so riders. We'll see what happens to them as they approach some of the hillier terrain in a moment. The D riders off the front there, then really setting the pace. So the bees have closed around about 1 kilometre on that first lap. That's going to make it tight for the finish, I think. Oh. Started off with about a 4.2 kilometre deficit. Currently at 3 kilometres. At this pace, we are bang on target to catch them at the finish. That's how the race is set up. It's designed to be a close finish. Give everybody a chance of winning. Looks like the A's are going pretty hot. The D's are on the climb for the second time, the main climb. I'm going to use my air raid power up, I think. See if I get another decent power up. And it's a feather, that's okay. We'll take that. I can use that on the climb. But it's looking very close according to Swift Power. A, B and C all within 10 seconds of each other on the predicted finish time. We're just over a third of the way through this race then. Probably actually not a good indicator. Well, maybe it's a good indicator. Might mean that the B's and A's are catching the C's. You can see we've overtaken a few of them. Another big group of C's just up ahead. Not sure if that's the front of the C group or not. No, it looks like there's some more further ahead. Around about 35 riders in this front B group then. That's a third of the field. The D's are now on the downhill, but it's quite broken up. Got a group of 6 here. There's a couple of smaller groups ahead. Timmerman's ahead of Opju here. And Min Van there at the front of the D race. They're putting out some decent watts. Right, the B's then coming round. Push through this big group of C's in a second. The hill to help. Always a bit easier to pass when you're on a gradient. I'm about to hit this steep section then. Pop that feather. Oh. Maybe get a bit of rest on this downhill. Oh. Just get back up to speed as we hit the flat then. Pick up the big group of sea riders here then. That should help us whilst we're on the flats. So that D group is now at 1.6 kilometres. That was a good lap for the Cat Bs. It's pretty close between the A's and the Bs at the moment. The A's have got a bigger pack. They're doing a better job at holding it together. I think there's still a few more C's up the road. Looks like if we look at the mini map, there's a few blue dots. So I think we're going to catch them. It's going to come down to whether the A category can catch the Bs today, I think. As I mentioned, the time gap has been reduced back down to 2 minutes. We can only set it at 2 or 3 minutes. Ideally 2.5 minutes would be perfect. But we can't do that, so it's always a bit of a lottery. It's a bit of a shorter race today, a 2-minute gap, so hopefully it'll work out quite well. These C's are dotted all the way along the road up ahead. The group really did fragment. There's Upshaw there, Canadian rider. Strong finisher. We come back through the rollers for the third time. The Ds have just gone through the sprint point. Across the first bridge. Still the 2 bridges loop, but there are 3 bridges by my counting. So the Ds through the Italian village. The Bs still holding a pretty good group together. So the bees about to catch a big group of geese then. As you can see, the lead is another kilometre up the road. But the A's are coming in hot as well. Only 700 metres or so behind this bee group. It will be close. I think the D's are still in the lead. I don't think they've been caught by any seeds. Yeah, there's still some seeds up ahead in no man's land between the B's and the D's. That's a good sign for the timings. Cool. So we've got 2 more times above up the hill. 1.5 laps to go. It's pretty much anyone's game at the minute. This is going to be a close one. Too early to be calling a winner. Looks like the B's are going to put a big push on this hill then. Keep the A's at bay. Any B's are out of this pack. Do us a favour and slow those A's down. Get those elbows out. Alright then. On to the climb. Looks like we're about to lap the B rider. He's going to detain Paul. Big. Making a reference to streaming there. Oh. No power ups this time around. All the way then. Oh. Yeah, that hurt. Oh. So it's very close. The D's, the C to B, they can see them up ahead, and the A's are really not far behind. I can't easily look behind, but they will be catching us soon, I think. And here's that A group, only just ahead now of the B group and the C group. It's all about to come here. There they are. You can see them, both screens. B, C, D, all about to come back together then at the top of this little hill. Good effort by the C's and the D's again today. Looked like it did all just fall apart a little bit though. Get some power on. Should not dropped in the surge. The B's will try to push through this group. Told you it's going to be chaos. Oh. So, left hand screen, you can now see the A group. That's not the leaders, they are just behind, but they're not far off. I think it's just a matter of time. That is a big field of A's. They've done well to keep it together. They're just getting tangled up in the C's and D's. But there's still 5 kilometres to go. My head has dropped. I know they're coming. There they are, their left hand screen. So that's the surge through. One big train. And here they come, then here come the A train. Mixing into the B's. Pushing through. Here these riders are going to try and hang on if they can. If the pace is going to lift. And start holding it at the back of that A group. Oh. If my heart rate monitor was working, it'd be going through the roof right now. And that's it. I've been gapped. So I've now swapped it round. I need to make a new screen really. Now me on the left, and our leaders on the right, just because it's better quality. Because of the way my setup is. The A group's looking hot. A couple of B's in there. And a couple of C's are holding on at the minute. But as we go uphill, I think it's going to be tough for them. You can see there, it's all the pink jerseys, the A group at the front, just a couple of B's. Jumping around a lot as they come up the climb then. Chris Renker right up there for the B's. Seaman and Gelheim, the A riders leading at the moment. As we start to hit the descent. We've opened up a tiny little gap. Not much. See them just up ahead there. So currently 2 riders. There's a little bit of a gap. One's caught. Brandon Peterson right up there with the B's. Jay Baus, Jay Larson. We're coming onto the finishing straight then. And here goes the sprint. Arrows are being dropped. And it's anybody's. Oh, that's a tough one to call. Didn't quite get forward enough just to see who the winner was. Wow. So here I am then. I'm 24th place. Well, leaders are finished. That was well done to the A's. Once I finish, I'll be able to bring you some results to see who the winner was. Looks like it was Benoit Coulier Anderson Poulan, Jason Brune from Eat Dirt getting third place. Christopher Schrenker, the best of the bees, in ninth place. That's preliminary results then. Bring you the Swift results in a moment once we get to the line. 200 metres or so to go. A couple of riders behind me just coming in a little bit hot. Making me work for my 24th position. I've done it. Oh. All right. So this is showing Jay Bowson first for the bees, Peterson in second, and Jay Larson in third. Oh, very close. I'm not, because it doesn't put all the results together. It's a bit tricky to work out who our winner is. So, Swift Power. So that's showing scorekeeper in first, James Young in second, Ryan Larson in third, Jason Brune in fourth, Daniel Gould in fifth, Philip Van Latham in sixth, Pedro Erica in seventh, Sam Cross in eighth, Jesse Siemens in ninth, and Geordie Bouse, the first B rider, in 10th place. So well done, A. He's made the catch. With about three quarters of a lap to go. And then they held it together all the way around to the finish. Managed to pick those B riders that were holding on. Looks like the timings were not too far off. B, C's and D's coming together on the fourth lap, and then the A's catching. Unfortunately, I got dropped. About half a lap to go. Still trying to find some back to peak fitness. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed seeing the two cameras. Trying to give some coverage of everyone in the race. Trying to work on a few more cameras so we can get the C's and the A's a bit of coverage as well. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I will be back here later on next week. Thanks a lot for tuning in, everyone. See you all very soon.